Hey there, everyone. Michael Damon here with the latest episode of Starbeam.one, Stand Up and Shine and Chill. It's a little series I put together to keep people up to date with my project, Starbeam.one. It's modeled after the Agile methodology and a stand-up, where you tell your teammates what you're working on, what you're going to be working on, and any sort of friction points that you are encountering. And I've added so much more. Let's begin. All right, starting off with some program notes, and I don't know if you noticed the introduction, but this is the 50th episode of this series, which is pretty cool. At one point I was thinking about doing this every day, I think it was, and then sort of like a daily stand-up sort of thing, and then I was like, okay, how about every week? Every other week? Yeah, let's just do it once a month. And so that's what we have now, and it's working quite well. And hopefully, eventually, I hope that we have additional content, not just me with the updates here. I think we need to have additional content, some engaging content, as it were, to get people more involved and, more than just seeing my head in a circle every month. But so this is the 50th episode. Welcome aboard. And another event we should be aware of is that this is the 2-year anniversary since announcing the project on June 7th, 2022, and opened the markets, and very few people bought anything. It was a great experience, I should say. Just having putting 2.5 years of development, of working into it, and then opening the market and having absolutely no one, except for my closest friends at the time, purchase something. But it was great. It's still, even then, the friends that I thought that might help out and buy them didn't have anything to do with it, which was really, kind of heartbreaking. But hey, so such is business, and that's how life goes sometimes. But it was still a great event. I had 7 sales on the first day, which was great. And that was on June 7th, on my birthday. Didn't plan it that way, but that's how it happened. But we are celebrating our 2nd year anniversary here on Friday, which is my birthday, and also Starbeam.one's birthday, 2nd birthday for the market being open to the public. And we have a contest right now that is ongoing. Unfortunately, it's going to be ending tonight, but I will put the link on the description for the YouTube here. And this is actually quite a popular contest, relatively for me. It has 10,000 views, and I think it's like 50 retweets, and so people are really engaging with this contest, and it's actually pretty popular. So I'll have the link there in the YouTube description, and it's being held by our friends there at Vortex. They're doing such an excellent job. I just love everyone there. They just do such a great and amazing work there, and they're really supportive of us, and we're really supportive of them back in return. So congratulations out there to Vortex, and a lot of support and appreciation to them. Okay, so that out of the side, out of the way, what am I working on now, or where's the big ticket items here? I mentioned this last time, that version 1.2 is the new publishing model. And last time I said it's going to be done hopefully by September, but it looks more like October, and it might be pushed back even further. Yes, the stress is really building up around that, and it's basically a rewrite. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Then after that's revenue streams, and I'm hoping December for that, but I'm kind of really circling February. Really, I'm just kind of I'm not trying to stress too much about this. Again, I'm the only investor in the project right now, and it's really just my money that I'm burning through. So I have to keep it limited to that, but I have a lot of pressure on myself to get this done, right? Like the faster I get this out, the faster we can move on to making money, sort of thing. So we'll talk a little bit about this as the slides go on here. So what did I do since last month here? It's all been about the new publishing wizard and the new publishing model that the wizard uses, and it's all about getting file uploads specifically. So I basically have just rewritten this whole publishing experience, and because number one, there are a lot of problems with it. I think I mentioned this last episode, where it was one of the very first things I ever wrote with Blazor, because the very first thing you need to do when building a publishing platform is publish something so that you can have it available for sale. And that was one of the very first things I ever built. And the way that I built it was completely wrong. It was just a lot of hassle, and it just turns in. I don't want to get too technical about it, but just the way that I was handling the data specifically, there's a certain way that Blazor prefers you to handle the data. So that's what I'm doing now, and so much more. I'm really getting into it. So when you upload a file, You just have to upload one file, and then that's it. We take care of the rest. So we'll produce the preview file for you. We'll sample the file for you if it's a video or audio file. All of that gets taken care of with just a single upload of a file. So hopefully that's going to solve a lot of work. That's going to reduce a lot of the friction and make things simpler, and also reduce a lot of the external stuff of people accidentally using the system incorrectly because of the design that we had. So, I never look at it as the customer's or the user's fault. It's always the system and the user experience designer, which is me. That's their responsibility to make sure the system works as intended the first time, every time, sort of thing. Okay, so that's it for this slide. Let's move on to the next one. All right, what am I doing? This is a question I ask myself all the time with such an ambitious project. Right now, I'm continuing work on the new publishing wizard and the file uploads, particularly about that. So we've got images and videos done, and I still need to do PDFs, audio files, and text files. And a little note here is I'm going to put links to updates that I'm doing on Twitter, daily updates, a daily status report every morning. I've been doing that for 3 or 4 months now, it feels like, and I will put the links there and post that in the YouTube description. And, these are local on my machine, and I don't have anything deployed yet, but hopefully here in the next month or so, I will have something deployed where I can actually demonstrate that here on this program. And so, so I've got those done. And the other thing I want to move on to is samples. So that's kind of, getting back to this, upload a file and everything just takes care of itself. Well, samples are, having tidbits of a file. So if you upload a video file and you've got a 10-minute, or let's just call it a minute of a video file, you can segment that by however many seconds, just to give you a little preview or a sample of that, so that when the user goes to the storefront, that is what they see, right? So remember, we don't sell the source files, and you can't view the source files until you provided your money and sent your money to the artist, to the original artist who is publishing it. And after that is done, you can see the source files. And so up until that point, there's a huge challenge, it turns out, that you want to show the content without actually showing the source file. So that's what these samples allow you to do for non-images files. So images are kind of easier to to sample because you watermark it, or you shrink them, or you reduce the size in some way. But other file types are more difficult. So that's what these samples are going to do, and hopefully we'll get them done in the next week or so. All right, my favorite part of the episode with Friction Points and Hide the Pain Harold, who is my inner developer, especially with the Visual Studio team. Particularly now, it's just really such a challenge to deal with a few of these issues. Actually, all of these issues are really tough in their own way. Build times, that particularly with Razor, which I'm doing right now, with all the work that I'm doing, Razor, any little change that I do will no doubt result in a 1-minute build, which is quite challenging, right? So you change a few characters and boom, make a build, and it takes forever to do that. And that's kind of taxing. That's such a bummer. It's such a drag. And there really isn't any time frame on when this is supposed to be fixed. Maybe in 3 months, maybe 4 months. If we're lucky, maybe before then. I haven't really heard anything anywhere about it. So just kind of enduring that for now. And then moving on to the error reporting. This is Visual Studio. I've mentioned this a few times here on this program before. The error reporting consistently now, I would say it's actually more than 10%. It's like 25, I want to say almost half of all of the files that I'm uploading, because I think they're extensive. They're gigabytes of memory, basically. They're a snapshot of memory, and I have a lot of memory. My solution uses a lot of memory, up to 16 gigs. So I've seen up to 25 gig files produced from the snapshots or the ETL files. And anyways, they're large files, and for whatever reason, they're just not getting uploaded, and haven't heard anything from Visual Studio about this. The Visual Studio team has been uncharacteristically quiet about this, and it's been really difficult to get any sort of confirmation or feedback about what is going on with this. It doesn't sound like it's getting fixed. And so it's like, do you want me to report these issues? Do you want to improve your product? I don't know. It's kind of difficult to understand what is happening there. And then kind of finally here, the last point, in the same vein, I mentioned this last episode, still the same problem. It's been almost 3 months now that this issue about getting Chrome debugging support fixed. It was supposedly fixed by the team there, and I verified it as not the case, and it still hasn't budged whatsoever. And so that's just really peculiar, don't you think? A feature that was marked on the roadmap to be completed, and then verified not completed, and then 3 months later, almost still nothing being done about it. It's just really peculiar, uncharacteristic of Visual Studio. Usually when stuff like this arises, and it feels like, after 5 years experience working with the team there, working with these tooling with the tooling there and with the teams there, they've been really responsive. But in these particular two cases, not the case. So it's been really challenging with that. And, to be honest, it's obviously very frustrating, but it's almost impacting my morale. Like, I see things like this and I deal with things like this, and it's like, am I supposed to be doing this? And there's just so much of a challenge to running a business and operating a business and trying to make a business happen. And then you've got things like this that pile on, right? And it's very challenging in a lot of different regards. And there I am with my best hide the pain Harold face, trying to endure it all. So, okay, there we go. Next slide. Effectiveness levels, as I like to say, if the world talked about its feelings, the world would be a better place. And I just got done talking about my feelings in the last slide. It's like, man, I am feeling kind of dinged by, some of these issues with the technology. And it's just like, it's really, especially when you sit here waiting a minute each and every time you develop, right? And you could just think, it's not just, it's taking a minute, but it's like, if I had gone with JavaScript and done that, right? It's sort of like that feeling from the Christmas Story when the main character has been told that they'll get their eye shot out, and here I am feeling like I'm getting my eye shot out by using Microsoft technology rather than doing what everyone else is doing and using JavaScript and whatnot, just sort of thing. So anyways, getting back to the slide here, I'm actually kind of lazy. Just call it my birthday sort of thing, my early birthday here to myself, birthday present to myself is that these are all the same from last time. I didn't really, and it's also being honest. I was kind of looking at these numbers like, yeah, it's about the same, because all I'm doing is developing code or trying to develop the code if the tooling works with me sort of thing. So morale is still at a 7, not too terrible, not too bad. Schedule about the same. I was looking at September being done with version 1.2. It looks like it's October now, so we'll see in another month. Technology, I should actually bring this down even further at 7.5, and it should just be like a 5 right now with just how I'm feeling about things right now. Marketing, haven't really been doing a lot of that, so I just left it as it is, 6.5. Finally, support. I'm always kind of proud about my support when it occurs. There really hasn't been a lot of that, so we'll just keep it there. It's 8.5. All right, that does it. Check the YouTube comments for any sort of links, any pertinent links. It's my birthday here on Friday, and it's starbeam.one's birthday. I didn't really plan it for it that way, but that's what we got. And I'm not complaining too much. It's just I don't like making calling a lot of attention to my birthday, but here we are. We have to celebrate starbeam.one's birthday too. So, until then, I just want to thank everyone out there for all your support. And if you do see this, if you do watch these shows, we get about 20 views a month. Those 20 views mean a lot to me. So if you are one of those 20 viewers, thank you so much. And thank you for actually getting to the end of the video here at 14 minutes or so. And until next time, stay safe out there and stay bright. See you in a month. Goodbye.